All right. So I was just talking to you guys for about like 3 minutes now, and then I realized I wasn't live. So I had a nice little chat. But I just got off the bike. I'm nice and hot and sweaty, trying to cool down. Um, so welcome to Any Fit is Possible. Tuesday night, March 14th. It's another Tuesday Tips. We come in every Tuesday, 7 o'clock to 8. And the goal is to kind of educate new anglers to fishing and fishing methods, and then just hanging out, chatting. And lastly, to support each other's channels as well. Rick said he's been, yeah, man, I saw you're having a go at it again, man. Your abs or something were bothering you. I know, man. It's I'm the same way. I'm knocking on wood right now because I have a good 2-day stretch going here. Yeah, I saw you were early, PA Breadman. Saw you came in early. What's going on? What are you guys up to? I know what you're up to, Rick, unfortunately. I wish you felt better. Yeah, what do you guys got going? Anything good? Yeah, man. Abdominal pain is no fun. I've been hospitalized a few times with it, and I don't know what your specific issues are, but one time I was hospitalized. I can't say that word tonight. And I thought I was dying. I thought for sure I was dying. It was just gas. The second time I went in, my appendix burst, and they had to take that. Well, actually, they ended up not taking it out. They took the tip of it out or something. I don't know what they did. It's horrible when you don't even know the surgeries. I've had so many surgeries and operations that doctors will ask me something, and I'm just, don't you have a folder somewhere? Just look it up. What's going on, Leon? Yeah, I've been missing your lives, Leon. My boss is cracking down at work. I can't have a little trouble hopping off as much as I was there for a few weeks. I work with the economy and mainly like, how the dollar does internationally. And yeah, it's not good right now. A little busy at work. Wild Japan, hello. How's it going? What are you guys up to? What's going on? Trying to figure out what everyone's up to. Aiden, what's going on, buddy? Aiden. Loftus is in the house. Aiden, I think Thursday night looks good weather-wise. I think I'm going to go to that spot. Wild Japan, you catching any more fish? How was last week? Wild Japan's in the Sunfish King Winter Fishing League with us. And I think they're like 4th or 5th. They're moving up fast. They're doing really good. And they're catching a lot of the fish on fly rods. And I think they still hold the smallest fish, which is pretty cool, actually. Wild Japan, if you're listening, I was talking to my wife about this, but isn't like catching small fish in Japan like a thing? Like I know there's like a name for it. Isn't that isn't it more rewarding? There's a type of fishing there where it's like more rewarding to catch a tiny fish than a big fish. Or am I crazy? I thought I heard this somewhere. Same here, man. No, Wild Japan said no new species. I didn't have any new species last week either, but we caught a whole lot of fish. And the week before, we killed it. And Kev missed Monday of school because he was too tired to go. So I kind of got lectured. We had to take a step back and chill. Trout Owl's in the house. What's going on? Polar Bear, Chad. Thanks for coming in, guys. Let me see. I don't want to miss anyone. Lyle's back there. Say hi, bud.
It's not 7 o'clock.
That's 6:59. Close enough.
No, it isn't.
We're having 50-mile-an-hour winds outside our house right now. So we're in the basement. Hopefully we won't lose power.
And I have strep throat.
And he's got strep throat over there. So who else came in? Chad. I saw Chad.
No, it's strep throat.
Wild Japan says some people try to catch really small fish as a challenge. I'm going to look that up. Like, it's got a name, I think. It started with a T. Oh, never mind. I'm doing this thing where I'm trying to type on my keyboard, and it's the wrong keyboard. I give up. Is that what it's called? Wakisagi fishing? Oh, Michael Drones is in the house. Thanks for coming in, buddy. And RC's awesome. Appreciate you guys coming in. I'm just asking everybody what's going on before we dive in to this week's lecture. We're just going to chat. But I actually have a game plan in mind today. And for people that will come back and watch it, I do want to address the number one thing I see on the creeks, even the rivers and even in ocean fishing. The biggest thing I see people not do wrong, but if you just say, I can't catch a fish, I'm not catching a fish, I can tell you exactly what you're doing wrong. Yeah, man, 22. It's like 30 mile an hour winds, steady, coming off. I don't know if you know where I live, Aiden, but it's all farm fields, like 400 acres behind us, wide open. And then we sit up on this like bluff, and the winds come across that just like unblocked, and they slap us. And we're surrounded by 150-foot pines, and those things are just raining down branches right now. We just got our chicken coop like hammered. I got to fix the roof on it, knocked off the tin and broke some of the support beams. Luckily, we don't have chickens yet. We're going to get them in a couple of weeks. Tim Likes to Fish is in the house. Thanks for coming in. I'm in Pennsylvania. We just got like a little tiny dusting this morning and during the day. But I think it's either gone again or it just blew away. Rick says, I don't have to try to catch small fish. I just do. Yeah, I have a gift for that as well. If you're catching small fish, I honestly think it's harder to catch small fish, especially catch them consistently. And it's part of what I'm going to go into in a little bit. Tenkara sounds like the name I was thinking of. But like one of the words, I'm going to sound like a dumb American, but one of the words is about catching small fish in Japan. And then another technique that I saw, and I think it was from Japan, is like a water bottle with the line wrapped around it, and you put it on a stick. And it's used, I've seen it used in like catfish and things like that. And then as the fish takes it, the bottle spins. I could be totally wrong. Chad said they're stocking my lake April 6th with stock trout or sticker trout. Is that stock trout? April 1st is opening day for Pennsylvania. March 20, the weekend before is that Saturday is the kids mentor day. Anyone's got questions on that, let me know. But mentor day, kids are allowed to fish with an adult. Kids are allowed to keep 2 trout that day. Adults can only do catch and release, and they're really there to help the child. They're not allowed to keep anything. I go back and forth. Like I barely fish that day. But I understand, like, it's good to have, if you're mentoring, sometimes it's good to show the kid what to do. And it's also nice to, like, you can hook one and hand the rod off. He can learn how to fight the fish. So next time he actually does catch one, he's got that step ahead of him. But people get upset mentor day because people take advantage of it. But they don't have to wait till mentor day. People are taking advantage of it right now. We fished all, you know how we are. We fished all over the place. But we stopped down at Core Creek, which drains out of Luxembourg Lake, I think it's called. And there were so many people fishing right below the tail out, and they were using fly rods and sabiki rigs and were snagging up fish left and right and just had buckets of them. It was disgusting. A lot of people cheat. I'm going to stay positive, though. Let me get caught up here. Yep, we got trout stockings coming up. No snow in the York area. Trout Owl, is that where you're from? You're out in like York, Pennsylvania? Wild Japan. Wakisagi is a type of fishing that can be small. Tananago, bitterling are even smaller. You got to back up with that so you can back up so you can see it. Take it like to the door. Try turning it off. It's too bright. It's too epic to be captured by the screen. I actually need that over there because this is a very fancy lighting technique. All the pros use special lighting. I'm very white, so if I don't do it just right, you won't be able to see anything. Let's see. Aiden said he saw a little bit of snow. Dwight from Curly Express is in the house. Thanks for coming in. Lyle saw snow. Richard Jarvis is in the house. Thanks for coming in, bud. Appreciate it. Aiden, we've been hit during Hurricane Sandy. Our house got basically split in two. So I think all the weak ones are gone. We spent $4,000 each tree, with like 4 trees around the house to get them out of here. I mean, you need cranes for these things. And I mean, it's beautiful. And 350 times a year, it's beautiful living where we live. But the other 5, these monster trees, are like death sentences. So we finished off the basement. And when it gets bad, we just come down and hang out in the basement. And if it hits the house, so be it. We'll go fix the house. Renslow, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it, bud. Thanks for the support. Jeff's in the house. Jeff Beal, what's going on? Another Pennsylvanian. I think he's Pennsylvania. I think he spent some time in Maryland too, but I think he lives in Pennsylvania. March 25th and April 1st can't come quick enough, Aiden says. The trout are in the creek. I was walking around. I don't want to give up some spots, but I was walking around and, man, they were jumping all over. And what I've noticed is those bald eagles are right there. They're sitting right on the shoreline. So hopefully they'll leave us some. Squirrels in the house. Thanks for coming up. Thanks for the thumbs up, Renslow. Yeah, if anyone's new to the channel, we're a fishing channel. We try to do this Tuesday night to kind of open up and chat with some people and be here to help out with fishing advice. We put out videos every Friday at noon, long format videos, and then we release a bunch of shorts during the week. This week, the video was last week, if anyone saw my video, it was like 3 days long. It was like 45 minutes long. So this week we broke it up into 2 segments. The first one I just got done today. That's out for Friday as usual. And that's going to be 8 minutes, I think. And then part 2 I'm working on. And I think I'm going to get that out Saturday if all goes to plan. Got a ton of material. We're so far behind. And I end up losing a lot of material because I only have so much space on my GoPro. And I chuck it. And I mean, you'll see some chaotic fishing. And that's probably 1/8 of the fish we caught this week. We got into like a feeding frenzy where we literally walked away from fish because it wasn't the species we were after. RC said he's got pictures of him catching some monsters. Nice. I don't know. I was just looking at that and you disappeared on the chat line. Tim said he's seen enough snow for a year. Sorry if I missed somebody. I'm going to try to get caught up. Man, I stink at this. I'm already behind. Squirrel, April 1st, bud. Opening day of Pennsylvania fishing for trout. April 1st, 8 a.m. It's go time. I'm hoping to go upstate again, but my neighbor's trying to save money for an elk trip in Montana. And he's the one who got us the invite to trout camp last year. So I don't know where we're going to go. I mean, we can always go local, but I like to get up the mountains and get in the tents. True Eco is in the house. What's going on, buddy? What is going on? Eco, I don't know if you want to pop up later. If you do, I'll throw the link out. I'm going to talk a little bit more, and I want to cover one topic before I do. Let me just get caught up with chat, and I'll jump in. It's snowing here and cold in Pittsburgh. I've never been in Pittsburgh, and it hasn't been either snowing or raining. Every time, and I go out there pretty often, I'm telling you, every time I get rained on. And it's usually on a bicycle coming through Somerset. And from there into Pittsburgh, it's the opposite weather from the east. And it just is horrible. But I'm sure it's a lovely place to live. It's beautiful out there, though. Let's see. Tim asked, did you guys keep any of those fall fish for cut bait? Nope. I was kind of put on those fall fish from a buddy, so I certainly wasn't going to harvest any from their fishing grounds. And we got all the, I can catch chubs anytime I want. So I don't know if they're as good as fall fish, but fall fish, I feel like they're hard to find around here. There's a few spots, but they're not like in every creek. Where I live, almost every creek, if you head upstream enough, you're going to get in the chubs. So if I'm going to do cut bait, I'm going to do carp or, chubs pretty much. I'm not going to do the fall fish. I personally really like fall fish too. So like not that I'm opposed to anybody doing that or going to use them for fish. I have no problem with that. I just don't yet. I reserve the right to. Eco, it's going good, man. Everything's going good. No new species last week, but lots and lots of fish. That was kind of on purpose. Like we wanted to get on fish and just like relax and have fun, because when you're doing this multi-species fishing competition, I probably told you guys 100 times already, but you can only catch one species and you're supposed to move on to the next one. You can't count any others. So you find an awesome thing of fishing. Your 9-year-old's all pumped up, ready to catch fish. You're like, oh, we got one. We're out of here. Let's go catch another species. So this week was like, you know what? We found a ton of fish. Let's catch them till we're bored. Let's have some fun. So that's what we did. Ted, I got the GoPro app on my phone, but I guess it runs off my phone or something. I don't know how to get it on my computer. I'll have to look into that. But I think, honestly, we fish so much, I think I'd get too much material and I would mentally lose track of it. And, whether it's there or not, I guess I could still always like dive and play in it. But I like to keep our videos current. I'm not against anyone going back, but I kind of like, not that I might never do this, but I like the fact that we don't put out old stuff. Like I'm not posting July stuff right now. If we're posted something, it happened within a week or two, guaranteed. We're not digging through stuff. And it's not like I'm not boasting. I'm just lazy. I'm not going to save material. I'm not going to save stuff and go back and look for it. But maybe I will sometime. Maybe I will when life calms down a little bit. Johnstown. That's right, Tim. Yeah, I probably told you my best friend's family is from Johnstown. Let's see, people saying hello to each other. Yeah, guys, feel free to share your links out there with each other. I'm on Streamyard today, and I'm not as familiar with it, but I think you can still share links out there. I made a lot of people moderators for that purpose. Colby's Place, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. That's a wild looking, what is that? Like the kiss tongue? That's pretty wild icon avatar thingy you got there.
You said something's crazy.
Something's crazy. Oh, sweet. Colby's Place. All right. Colby, do me a favor. This is my son, Lyle, my older boy. Kevin's our younger boy. He's the one you're going to see in our videos that fishes with us. This boy you'll see once in a while, and he'll be out hunting with me this year. Colby. Next year. He's 11. He's going to be 12. So in Pennsylvania, he can start hunting. If you could do me a favor and just comment on a video somewhere so I can track you down and make sure that if I'm not connected to you, that I connect to you. Appreciate it. Aiden, where's the Saltwater Expo? He said there's a Saltwater Expo this weekend. Is that Oaks or Harrisburg, maybe? I don't think I'm going to. I'm actually going to the Phantoms game, the hockey game on. When are we going to the hockey game? Sunday. So we're going to fish hard. We're going to go after catfish. We're going to do a lot of nighttime fishing Friday and Saturday night. Saturday or Sunday? Sunday, right. Yeah. And then Sunday we have the hockey game. Yeah. Yep. Ika, that'll sound good, man. Until 7:30 is when I'll be looking for some people to join and we'll get chaotic. Eco, going to throw out the link around 7:30 if anyone wants to join us. Eco might pop up, just say hi, and if he's got anything to talk about, he certainly can. He has a cool channel, and we fish together. The video I did last week was a collab with him, and we fished with him and his buddy Alex. Awesome guys, are like kids, 16 years. I don't know if I can say their age on YouTube, but very young. Awesome guys. I love fishing with like kids because like in my heart, that's still the way I am. I love like fishing creeks on bicycles, and because I've always believed in just like doing the extra work to get to the hard to get spots produce especially if you don't have money to have the boat and all this like fancy stuff. If you just like use your head and work hard and get to hard places, you're going to be rewarded. Let's see. Alvin Lewis, what's going on, bud? What's going on? Thanks for coming in. 10. Ted said, I have a camp close to Somerset. So when I read that message there, Ted, I thought it said I have a cramp close to Somerset. That's how many times I've cramped on those hills over there. We used to race from the Liberty Bell. We used to race from Liberty Bell to Point Park, Pittsburgh, nonstop on bicycles in like 24 hours, just like 18 miles an hour, head down, 3-4 bottles, just go and like drop over at Point Park. And like the ranger, it would be like 6 a.m., 5 a.m. You have a ranger like waking you up. You can't sleep here. It's like, oh, well, I'm sleeping here.
Lol.
Let's see.
Well, I gotta go for some years.
They can't even see you. You got to pop in if you're going to say something. You usually wave and you're going to head out. I think Lyle's heading out.
I'll be back if there's a severe storm in the power's out. I'll be screaming like a banshee.
You might see Lyle in some of our videos. He likes to come in and tell jokes.
Knock, knock.
Belt Loop is in the house. Thanks for coming over, buddy. Let's see. Belt Loop saying hi to everyone. Let's see. Ted got one of his videos at 10,000 views this week. Long form videos. That's super impressive. I think that was like a how-to video you said, right? I think I heard you say something about that. I do pay attention. I'm all over the place, but I listen wherever I am. Squirrel, thanks for coming back in. Alex, the fisherman, is here. What kind of, Alex said he bought a new rod. What kind of rod you get? Jeff Beal, I know why you're looking for chubs. You're gonna feed those chubs to the catfish, aren't you? Shane Flint, thanks for coming in, bud. Appreciate it. Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks is kind of the max for footage age. That's how I feel. However, I think there's a little niche, and there's like sometimes I get the craving for like Pennsylvania July fishing in December, kind of like Christmas in July. I might do that this year, as like a special thing, but I like to be current because I wanted to give, our channel is not supposed to be just, I don't think it might not be entertaining at all. It's supposed to be kind of entertaining, but also educational. I'm not acting like a professional. I am a licensed fishing guide. I've lived in Alaska. I've guided in Alaska. I've got tons of experience, but my knowledge is all over the place. And it's not really in Pennsylvania, though I did have fished here more than any other state. But yeah, if you're watching a current video, you can see what worked for somebody and kind of get an idea of what might work and what fish are like spawning. And, oh, these fish seem to be getting caught and they're all caught right at the tail outs, or, you get an idea and you can kind of put it together. So I think it's more valuable. It's more valuable to keep the videos current than letting it go far behind. Let's see. Yeah, Jeff and Aiden talking about spots loaded with creek chubs. Wait till you see Friday's video. And it's only like a quarter of the videos. I didn't want to bore anyone to death, I have probably 200-300 clips of catches, and I narrowed maybe 50 of them down to each being under 1 second in this one little video spurt thing that I did. It's just insane. We actually took them and went musky fish. We took a couple of the bigger ones and we took them out musky fishing. Ted's always filming. I saw Theo, how old's Theo? I saw he had his birthday yesterday. You guys did a video for him. I think I got distracted by work. The boss calls me away sometimes and I forget where I was, but I was watching that video. Ah, like that belt loop? I listen to you. You're like my YouTube coach. Now you're stuck on my screen. That's cool. I was actually looking for this feature so you guys can see the comment that I'm highlighting. Cool, cool, cool. That's great. Let's see here. Aiden said he takes him out to Anita. Awesome, awesome. Laughing Cat, I missed him coming in. Laughing Cat, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Awesome, awesome. So like what I was going to talk about this week, and that, like I'll do like 10 minutes on this subject. I don't want to bore you guys acting like I know everything, but I'll tell you from my experiences, my 2 cents. I'm fished mainly Pennsylvania and then 10 years solid in Alaska. And this knowledge comes from just viewing people. Hold on, listening to belt loop here. Just click on it again and it will stop being on the screen. Got it. Awesome. Thanks. So this tidbit I titled this week is the number one thing fishermen or anglers do wrong. And in my experience is they go big. And what I mean by that is the rods are too big, the line's too heavy, the weight's too heavy, the hooks are too big, everything's just too big. Fish are tiny. And again, this is biased to Pennsylvania, so I'm talking 5 pounds and less fish. And I'm saying 5 pounds because I can catch, like what I'm thinking of is the ideal starter setup. I've caught 5-pound bass. I've even caught up to 10-pound carp on these setups, but you really have to be an expert and know how to fight them, how to use your drag. So I think from the biggest thing you can do is get the right rod reel combo to throw 4 to 6 pound mono line. And then once you have that set up, now it's how much weight do I need on to cast that bait successfully to the spot in the water, or two, how much weight do I need to get that bait down to the right spot in the water column? And it's not a race. Like depending on what you're fishing, like if this is the top of the water and this is the bottom of the screen's the bottom, you don't want to cast it and be like, boom, right to the bottom. You want it to just kind of, this camera's freaking me out again. You want it to kind of go down slowly in the strike zone. But you've got different, I'm not going to tell you this is what you need because the variables are going to be the wind, the current, the length of cast, all that type of, and the fish, like what are they actually feeding on? So I see it all the time. Go light. Sometimes it doesn't feel good. It's hard to cast, but that's what you're going to get bit on. And I'm not talking about being like, once you've got it dialed in, obviously like small hooks are swallowed. So you don't want to be using small hooks when it's inappropriate. I'm talking to somebody who's on a creek just trying to catch fish, young people, first time fishermen, somebody who's never fished before. They get these Walmart rods and they're like size 2, size 4 hooks, 12 pounds of test or like thread. Put mono on. I'd say put fluoro on, but fluoro is a pain in the butt. It's always curling and stuff like that. So for a beginner, I'm trying to keep it simple. And I'm telling you, like 4-pound mono and the knots, you know how it is. It sounds simple. And then as you start drilling down, it becomes complicated. So the knots are important. The lighter line you use, the more important the knots. So it starts getting complicated. But at the most simplest version is people go too big. It's supposed to be a little hard to cast at times because you're bordering on almost needing a fly rod to deliver a light presentation to the right spot in the creek. But that's what's going to look natural. Figure out what the fish are eating in that body of water and take a look at how that bait is in the water column. Where are they feeding? Are they feeding on the bottom, the top? Are the things in the water column falling fast? Are they floating? All those things affect the way you present the bait. And you have to adjust your presentation based on that. So that's my lecture for the week. Let me see what I missed here because I saw Josh come in and Herbs came in. Let me see who else I missed here. Fishing time, let's go. Thanks for coming in. Favorite way is 4 to 6 pound Maxima Ultra Green. Josh from Carp and Catfish Bait Tip Tricks and Techniques is in the house. Thanks for coming in. I think I told you on your live, I did get your hooks. They had a very fun journey through the mail. The envelope was all ripped up, and then they had your hooks that were in look like little drug bags stapled to the outside of the envelope. It was pretty wild, but luckily I got like a cool mailroom person, because I've had things like that and they just throw it out then or refuse to deliver. This cat actually stapled it to the outside and put it in my mailbox. So that was cool. Rich and Leo from the UK, thanks for popping in. It's late over there, I know. So I appreciate you. And Richard Jarvis, I know it's late over there coming in. Yeah. Let's see. BC Gerbs, thanks for coming in, bud. Thanks for coming in. All good here. All good. Yep. Size, and like I said, it starts simple, Ted, and then the more you get into it, it's not so simple. But he said the size of the line matters for the drop or when running baits. So yeah, I use 4 pound fluoro almost all the time, sometimes 2 pound fluoro. And a lot of that reason is for dropping, because I tend to fish fast moving pockets, and it drops better for me. It cuts through the water quicker. So that is definitely one of the things too. I want to get down into the pocket pretty quick, and I want it to cut through the water. True Eco said, fishing knots are so annoying and really thin line. Eco, if you think it's tough now at 16 years of age, wait till you're 45. It basically doesn't exist. People always ask me what type knot I tie. I've been tying the polymer knot since I was 16 years old, and I'll always tie it because honestly, I can't even see the line. I'm just doing it through memory half the time. I really can't. I can do it in the dark. I can just go by feel. And when I'm tying, I've tied 32 size hooks with them. No way I can tie any other knot on a 32 hook. And they work good enough. I mean, I know they're not perfect, but I know there are all kinds of good knots out there. And I'm not belittling the other knots and like the knot tires. It all matters. But it just doesn't matter to me right in this time. Let's see. Rich, Kevin is doing good. He is over at Urban Air, jumping around the trampoline park, getting his energy out. How's Leo doing? Rich, for you guys who don't know, Rich and Leo, they're over in the UK. Rich is the father, Leo is the son, and it's a lot kind of like our setup here. I think they might be a year older than us, but about the same. So I always like watching those guys, and I can appreciate some of the struggles, let me just say. Fun struggles, I'll call them. Ted says, I agree, match the hatch. Yeah, a lot of people don't focus on the water, they don't even think about what are these fish eating? They're eating all year. They don't just shut off in the winter. They might eat slower, but they're definitely eating. And fishing micros will really teach you that. I catch a lot of our micro fish on scuds, and we'll just pick through the algae, and we'll have a size 28 or 32 hook, and we'll take one of those little scuds, like a little invertebrate, looks like a pill bug. We'll hook them on there, and they'll slam them immediately. You might not hook them because it's hard to hook them, but they'll come and take it right away. Let's see. That's right. Josh said, really, that's wild. Yeah. I'm glad I got him, and we might get out. Oh, Bell Loop, no worries, man. Have a good one. Thanks. He's got to run. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Josh sent me some awesome hooks that he tied for carp. Hair rigs. I think that's what you call them, hair rigs. I'm going to be using those. Maybe even this weekend I might get out there. Going to try to catch some yellow bullheads, but I'm definitely going to throw a few carp. I'm going to have one rod ready for carp for sure. I'm going to the spot where we caught like 15 in 1 hour last year or 2 years ago now. And they're in there. I was up there on my bike a couple of days ago. They're in there. Michael Drones and RC said, do you use boilies when fishing for carp? I have, and Josh can probably speak better than I on this subject. My go-to is pack bait. I use the strawberry, corn, and breadcrumb pack bait on the I don't know what you call it. It's kind of it's a weight, but it's not like, I know Josh just uses the lead weight. I'm probably gonna, no one does carp fishing as much as he does, so I'm probably gonna steal his knowledge on this subject. But basically the concept is you pack that pack bait there, and then you've got a little bit of line going to a hair rig. And on that hair rig, I like to just throw like 2 or 3 pieces of sweet corn off the back of the hook. And that's what I use. That's my go-to bait. I've used nothing better than that. Other things obviously will work. I even caught one on like a fly rod. I've caught them on, in this one location, they eat mulberries when they drop. And when the mulberries are dropping, I cast the fly rod in there with a fake mulberry, and I'll catch them once in a while. But let's see. Nice, nice, nice. Eco's pumped for trout season. John's in the house, some small water charters. It's just fishing. That it is, Edward. It's just fishing, man. That it is. I'm sure you can throw the heavy lines around and get action bites from the big boys you got, but around here it takes a delicate. We have delicate fish. It takes a delicate presentation for these fish. They're sophisticated. Mistake on creeks. Biggest mistake I see on the creeks is people casting in trees. You need to have your bait in the water to catch fish. Aiden, when the fish are not biting, I just start collecting lures. I mean, there's so many good lures. And Kevin's problem is he won't pass a lure up. It can be demolished, rusted out. He goes and pick that thing up. And I've got bags of them here. And I'm like, oh, I'll just order some treble hooks. But like, I'm never going to do that. They're just sitting here collecting dirt. Nice. All right, I'm going to open up. Let's see. I'm going to try to get caught up real quick. Let's drop you a share. Rich and Leo just shared us out. I appreciate that, man. Have a good night. Have a good night. It's late over there. They're like 5 hours ahead of us, so it's middle of the night. So it's doing good. Daniel Burry Spots is in the house. Thanks for coming in. If anyone's new here and you guys like fishing content and decide to sub, please leave a comment on one of the videos so I can trace back to you, and I'll make sure I connect back to you. Appreciate that. Ted said he used to put mulberries on the floating Rapala. Catch carp. Lost a lot of lures. Carp would snap my line. Yeah, with carp, when I catch carp on the fly rod, I used to have to run out in the middle of the creek to fight them. Because they would run, like where I am, it's all roots on the side, and the carp just run to those roots so quick. So as soon as I hooked, I'd run in the middle of the creek, and people look at me like I'm nuts. But that was like the only way I knew how to fight them on, like, 6 weight. Not easy. Biggest mistake John sees is people not using his discount. Always plugging over there. Using his SWC20 at Bruiser Baits and Bass Addiction Gear for 20% off your order. I mean, I got some nice lures. I got this huge worm. Well, I think it's a snake. John gave. I won it on John's giveaway the one night. I mean, this bait's like 16 inches long. It doesn't even fit the screen. I'm going to do a short soon on it. I just have to, I already have the main video for it, but it deserves the proper editing to go along with it. I'm going to work on that one. I'm going to throw, as soon as I can figure out how to throw the link up there, I'm going to put the link if anybody wants to join me for a few minutes. Keep it clean though. a lot of kids do watch our site. Yeah, it's called the Big Nasty. I remember. Big Nasty. Put the link out there. I'm going to pin it to the top. Ooh, I almost put you in timeout, John. It's so close. Let me see. Where'd it go? All right, I guess I'll just pin it over there. I don't know. I don't know how to pin it to the top. Trying to figure out how to pin this Streamyard link to the top of my finger. Yeah, if you want to come up, Eco, yeah, be my guest. I'd like everyone to say hi, and you can say hi to everyone. Yeah, no pressure. You could just like sit in the background, watch it all burn down. I'm sure, John. Let me go back to it. Start. I started. I don't know. I started the link. Let me see if that does anything. Oh, man. I forget. I can't even get to the top. That's not the right way. Oh, God. You told me this last week, Richard. Yeah. Go back to YouTube. Hit the 3 dots. I forgot I have to go back to YouTube. I got to mute it before I talk over myself. Shut up. Let's go here. I got it. I got it, John. Thanks. Richard Jarvis told me this last week. Can you guys hear me? Did I mute myself everywhere now? All right. I'm going to make sure. I'm going to write you down, BC Jerb. You said you connected to me a few weeks ago. I'll make sure I'm connected back to you. Awesome. Thanks. Appreciate it. Trying to grow our channel. That's all right, John. I don't listen to anything you say. Oh, there you are. Eco's in the basement. Let me go over here. Yes. Eco, you're in the house, buddy.
Hello.
What's going on, man? What's going on? So Eco's the dude that took us out on I won't give away the 3 names, but took us out on a couple of different spots. We met him out what was that, Chambers Lake, I think we met. And yeah, we had a good time.
Hello. Yeah, Chambers Lake.
Yeah. Cool. All right. What do you got going on, Eco?
Nothing much. Just got back from New England.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You said it was like cold and snowy. You didn't get any fishing done?
Nah, nothing. I was out there 3 days. Man, my cameras can't see anything.
That's a sweet flag you got there, by the way.
Yeah. Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's right. You're all allowed to come up if you have a Pennsylvania flag in the background.
Keystone State.
Did you take your rods up with you?
Yeah, I did. I was up there. I went to trout for 1 day because it's open up in Connecticut.
Oh, it's open up there.
Yeah, it's open up there for trout season. And I went to a carp spot for 2 days, but my camera didn't work for the last 2 days. So I had to record on my phone for like 2 whole days.
Rough. What was going on? Was it the cold? Or
Yeah, it was snowing.
So I don't know if this is like good advice or not, but what I do is like I have a backup battery, and I found if I put hook the backup battery up and then put
it
the
wasn't
backup
battery.
battery
It was the SD card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I have to get a new one. It's like 3 years old at this point.
Gotcha. Yeah. Cold will kill stuff if it's on the borderline of going.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, if anybody wants to pop up with us for the last like 20 minutes or whatever, more the merrier. Come join up.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So how much did you catch last week?
I don't want to blow out the whole video, but we caught a lot, but not a lot of species. Maybe 3. Oh, actually, we caught 6 species.
Wow.
But no new species which is hard. Like, I think I'm at like 21. So we've caught most of them, and we didn't really go after, like, we caught most of the species that can be caught without too much crazy
Man,
dedication.
that's impressive.
So we need to get the cats though. And they just, like, I know, like, I'm playing a little bit of gameplay at this point because I have a lead, and I'm like, all right, well, if the lead gets closed down in the last couple of weeks, I can go out, and I know there's 5 species I can catch, and the easiest time to catch them is going to be like towards the end of this.
Yeah, but
Like,
you're ahead by a lot, right?
I am. Kevin is a little tighter on it, so I've been focusing on trying to help him out too. Like, since I'm his driver and we're against each other,
That's how you got to get out
take
there.
him to places. And I hooked him up last weekend. I got into this spot where there was 3 types that I caught that he hasn't caught. And like, I'm like dialed in. Here's what you're going to do. This is where you're going to cast, and you're going to catch it. He promptly fell in the creek, and we had to go home.
I know what that's like. I've done that plenty of times. I was at this place in New England where I went. There was this one stream a little bit farther down, and I dropped I think it was my pliers or my knife in the water, and it's just like a good 6 feet of water. Yeah. But I thought, okay, if I have my net, I fell right in the water. 30 minutes out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, my most embarrassing. Well, I don't really get embarrassed. I don't care. But we were up salmon fishing this year, and I fell in trying to net somebody else's fish. Like, it wasn't even my fish, but it was a kid. It was some kid upstream. So I wanted to, this fish was gone. It was like 200 yards down the stream. It was behind people. People were just like, get this thing off the road. They're getting mad at this kid. I'm like, I'm going to catch it. It was coming down, and I went down just completely under.
I fell in a lot. I almost fell in on Sunday. I'm so angry about this, but the rod I've always used all my fishing videos. It's a gray rod from like the 90s, and I have this reel. I almost fell in on Sunday because I was casting out for carp. I had a big weight on it. Yeah. The line breaks, and the whole half of it goes in the water. The top half of it just flies out. And this was the lake is an old mine, so it's like 50 feet of water. I'm never getting that back.
That's rough.
Yeah.
BC's asking, what months can you catch trout down there? So BC, you can catch trout.
Any month you're not getting caught.
Yeah, and you can catch trout legally all year round in Pennsylvania if you know like the rules. There are a few streams that are like wild trout catch and release. There's delayed harvest. So there are places. But between this year, I think it was like February 18th, they closed the streams down that are stocked by the state of Pennsylvania, and they don't open them again till opening day statewide, April 1st. With the exception, there's one day that they open it for kids only to make sure the kids get an opportunity to go out and catch trout, which is
before everyone else goes and eats them all.
Right. So it's not, I know, like, I think it's kind of like ridiculous that they have to close them out. However, I don't have a lot of faith in humans.
Yeah.
And I think they would be fished out immediately. Like, there's streams around us. And if Aiden's here, I think he could probably back me up on this maybe. There are vans following the stocking trucks. Vans filled with people. And they come out of there with like 20 family members, no fishing licenses, and just start hauling in fish.
Yeah, this is where I met you at Chambers Lake. They stock it with they stock it with everything. They stock it with bass. They stock it with everything every year. And every year you go there, and it's like trucks and truckloads of people. People come in U-Hauls to go catch the fish in there. It's crazy. Yeah,
and they take everything. Like I was fishing Luxembourg, which is like Core Creek comes out of that lake.
Yeah.
And there's like one little puddle where the dam dumps into, and then it's a real like tiny stream. So if they come over the dam, they gotta lay in that hole. And there was just people, it looked like, Pulaski, New York, salmon fishing. People were just on top of each other, hauling them out in buckets. It was kind of sad.
Yeah.
Tim said that PA has made. I can highlight these things, then we can both look at them. If I figure out the right mouse. Let's see. PA has made trout season pretty confusing. Got to study up on it before you go out. Tim, just go ask Facebook. Everybody's so helpful and supportive.
Oh,
No,
just don't go to Instagram.
I'm just joking. People are so brutal. They forget there's like humans behind posts, you know?
The fishing community online is the meanest people on earth, but if you meet them in person, some of them are pretty nice.
Right. Yeah, we're all like messed up.
Yeah, we've lost enough fish.
Right, frustrated.
Yeah, if you see someone lose a big fish, never go near them. You see like their line is it's bending so much. It's like this, and you don't go anywhere near them.
Yeah, that's why we haven't gone live too much. And it's not me that throws the tantrums. It's the 9-year-old. I have one video that has bad language in it, and it's not me cursing. That's all I'm going to say. BC said we can catch 4 each day on Lake Cowichan on Vancouver Island. So once the season starts in Pennsylvania, we can catch 5 in spring. And like Tim said, I got to study up come fall again, because it used to be fall harvest was 3. But I got to read it again.
I think it's gone up now. I think it's 5 in fall as well.
Right, but I think it's like maybe it closes earlier or something.
Maybe. They're changing it up this year. The weather changing.
Yeah.
Hey, I never asked you about. You went to the mill then. I saw in your other video, right?
What's that?
You went to that mill trail stream I told you about.
Yeah, I think that's Beaver.
Yeah, Beaver Creek. Did that treat well?
Oh yeah. That's where he fell in.
Oh.
Yeah, I caught 3 new species in that little tiny creek.
Oh yeah.
I caught a 15-inch smallie in there.
I thought Kevin caught that. I saw that on the.
Kevin caught the small. Yeah, Kevin caught that one. Yeah, I caught a 17 earlier. I think that same video.
Yeah.
Which I think was
earlier on the Marsh Creek Lake or something like that.
I caught that one right 4 minutes from my house, right in my local creek.
That one you told me
about. Wild. That's where we caught the 20-inch ball fish there too before.
Oh, really?
It's the only 2 fish we've ever caught out of that hole. So we know it holds monsters, and it's where 2 pretty big creeks combine. It's like a confluence of 2 prominent creeks in the area.
Nice.
Yeah.
I gotta get out to more lakes. I want to do a thing though, because in Paoli we don't have much water, like streams, anything, but we do have like little. I think if you've seen my creek chubbing video, we have little spillways. They're filled with like creek chubs and fall fish. Just they're on right on the side of the road, and we have a bunch of them. So I thought maybe if I do like a hopping reel, those things.
Yeah.
And then there's this little pond behind a church that you're allowed to fish at. I got a walleye, not a walleye. I don't know what it's called. It kind of looks like a perch, but they're longer. I forget what they're.
It looks like a perch. There's walleye, and then there's like was it salgar or something like that?
I think it might be something like that, but you can catch those there too. So I might head out to that pond too.
Sometimes there's some weird fish in the most unexpected places, you know.
Yeah.
And what I'm there, like when you had the fish happening out by you, I jumped on it because we have a lot of water near us, but it was all dead at that time, like nothing going on. And then one of my other subs, who I might still be here, sent me like a post the other night, like, "Oh, we're fishing here, we're hammering them." I'm like, what are you talking about? I haven't caught a single fish there. But it's like all of a sudden it turned on.
Yeah.
It's weird, you know. And that's
I think what's so great I like about Chester County, there's no one knows you can fish there. Like you're allowed to fish there, but everyone there is just for walking or their dogs.
Right.
The creeks are untouched. Everything, but then they start not letting you go fishing there. Crumb Creek, man, I did so well on there, and then I go down one day, come yell at me. Every other tree they have a no fishing sign.
People ruin it, man.
People they do. Like you find a good spot. You find a good spot. I mean, I was catching trout that were like over a foot long. They were huge, and then the guy was like, "You can't fish here anymore. We bought the property. No more fishing."
Yeah.
BC
said, "Come up here. We have world-class fishing on both the lake and the river." I have a passport. I think I need a passport for the rest of the family, but we do want to take some trips north for some fishing, certainly for next few years vacation.
Yeah. Connecticut has got some good stuff in the mountains where I was at.
Oh, you're out on the Pacific. All right. Yeah, we have a cabin up in Alaska. We can do that. We don't do much halibut, but we got people who can put us on halibut up there too. I would be more up for some of the what other species you have other than salmon and halibut. I would be up for like burbot, catching more of the hard.
Burbot.
Yeah, I caught one burbot in the river in Alaska, and nobody even knew what it was. Apparently, I was like the only person who caught one there. I always catch weird stuff.
Yeah.
Don't lock it, then I can't come in.
Let's see here. Yeah, I'm only going to be on probably another few minutes, and then.
Yeah, I got some work to do too, so I'll probably go up 8.
Yeah, try to cut off at 8 because I got to help with homework and stuff at 8.
I got to do my homework.
I'm already lost. I'm doing like 3rd grade math. I'm like, that's not how you do it. I know the answer, but he's like, you got to do it this way. I'm like, that's not how we learn.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
No, he's in 3rd grade and got homework. I have little siblings. No homework at all.
Man. Yeah, Kevin has a lot. My older boy doesn't have so much, and they're in the same school. But cod. Yeah, cod is another. We get. He said he would get cod. Yeah, cod would be awesome. We can get cod off in New England.
Yeah, Atlantic Ocean, man. We're killing all the fish in it, but it's still so awesome. Flounder though, we're still killing it with flounders. I gotta get up to Jersey again, but actual shore.
I'm gonna go down like Sea Isle area in the next few weeks as soon as we have a nice weather week. If not this weekend, maybe next if the weekend looks decent. This weekend I can't. I got some stuff to do. But the following weekend I might go down the Sea Isle and try to. There's a bunch of species down there I think we can catch.
I agree. Homework sucks.
Yeah, I had to highlight that one.
I agree with that one, especially math.
I'm 45. I shouldn't have to do homework.
Yeah.
I should not have to still do homework. I'm still doing it. Still like trying to understand his math. I got to check his math. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
And I work in finances. Like that's the ironic thing is, but not that math. I don't do that stuff. I don't believe letters belong with numbers.
Oh, exactly. No, it doesn't. They're mixing English and math together.
Right.
They've ruined it.
Yeah.
If they wanted us to use math, they would have made it simple.
Right. Yeah. Let me look at the calendar.
Except you can't do multiplication in your head, but you can find out how many fish you caught like that.
Right. Yeah. He just hit like the point in math like the last couple of days where I'm like, well, just pull up the calculator.
Yeah. That's what I love about high school math. You can just use the calculator all the time.
He was carrying like, it was into the thousands. I'm like, all right. I cut like after hundreds, I kind of cut out. I'm like, calculator time.
Yeah. That's the
and
way
like I do it all day at work, but if I were to try to use my brain and give out a number, I'd be liable for a mistake. Like nobody's doing that. They're all putting it through a program so they get the right answer, and it's in black and white. You screenshot it and you put it out there.
Yeah. Hey, you get about an hour homework per day. You're lucky, man. I get like maybe 2, 3, man.
Believe it or not, I majored in English because it was the easiest thing to do. And then when I went to college, I went in as like an athlete. So I just took I always liked reading and stuff like that. So I was an English major. And then I went to ed when I went for my master's, and I backed into ed, and then I went into finances. And just when I got done racing, I just did finances because I was already working in investments and stuff.
It's a good one to get into then.
Yeah. I went to Cabrini College, Ica. It's down by you guys.
Yeah.
Right in Radnor.
Valley. I should go down to Radnor. I know some good spots in Radnor.
Yeah, that like you said, there's these creeks down there.
Oh,
People are not like
no one fishes them.
No one fishes them.
They just pile up, and you can fish them all year round. Because I was even looking at like some geography that, like in New England, up in the mountains, you don't catch stuff year round because they leave. We're out in the middle of the valley.
Yeah.
Where are the fish gonna go? If it gets cold, they're gonna go to the ocean, but they're freshwater fish. They can't leave.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for that. Like your watershed, like that area, those fish were feeding where nothing was feeding around us, just not active at all. You called him, I'm like, is he for real?
Yeah,
How are these fish? And it was insane. First cast, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're just everything's active, everything's feeding like it's April.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Especially like the fall fish and everything. They just explode.
Yeah, they were, and the chubs now are nuts, man. They're all piled up. I guess they're doing their pre-spawn thing. We caught the males with like the horny heads, and they were ripping, man.
Yeah.
All the colors, full-blown red tails. So they should be good to target right now.
It's good to have chubs around, though. I might go to the lakes, Chambers again. I have to get some of those for cup day. RCA
TV just came in. What's going on? We're just chatting, hanging out. Richard Jarvis. This is the Eco, the True Eco. Let me get his channel and link it.
Thank you.
We fished together. Last weekend, and we met each other, I guess, a month before that. Just happened to be fishing the same lake.
Yeah, I have the video of us fishing together too. It's early March fishing in PA on my channel.
I'll link that one.
It's the rock bass nuts on that.
Yes. Go back.
Oh, Tim, that's great, fam. New chub spot. They're therapy fish. I've always thought that. Like
that's right. You call them therapy fish.
Therapy fish, because you can catch them. Like you go see. I want to go catch catfish. I want to go catch carp. I want to go catch striper. You go out there. You sit out there for like 3 hours, nothing. But you can always just put a little bit of worm on a hook. You go to your little stream, bang, bang, bang. You get 10 of them. Your confidence is back up.
Yeah. Tim said they're hard to find around here. Yeah, that's how, like, I grew up fishing a lot upstate Pennsylvania, and like every creek we had fall fish all over the place. Like that was like, it was rare that you would catch the chub because you were catching fall fish and brown trout.
Yeah.
And like we'd catch brown trout like chubs, like catch them all year round,
really?
The tiny ones. And now it's like I get excited to catch like a little brown, like a wild brown, you know? Yeah, right. Chubs are, I mean, we brought them home in a bucket with like the tiniest little aerator that runs on 2 AA's. And we had an hour drive, and they were big. And we probably had 15 chubs in one bucket, didn't lose a single one.
Wow. I built a little trap to get him last year because there's a spillway behind my friend Alex's house. You met him. Again, I have to do one there. I don't know if there's anything there lately. But we built this little wire trap. We caught like 30 in one night.
You can catch like the Amazon's got those wire baskets for like $11.
Yeah,
they work insanely good. We have a creek in our yard, and we catch them, but they're tiny.
Yeah,
but we'll just throw a piece of bread in there and like a piece of lunch meat, and
perfect.
We'll wipe out the whole air. We gotta let them all go because like we literally catch all of them. Like every fish comes into that basket. They're so dumb.
First chub I ever caught, what I did was I found a little trap, and I left it I found it in that creek itself, and I took it. It's like 4 years ago, and I moved it down to that bigger spillway. I caught my first little fish in Pennsylvania, little chub, this big maybe. It's an experience, man. You catch your first little minnows.
Yeah, I try to remember what my first fish was. Yeah, like micro fishing is kind of like the way I don't know, that's the way everyone I know kind of got into it, is jumping around little creeks.
Oh, yeah. I never got, like you said earlier, you don't want to go too big. I always see people, the first thing, they're always going, I'm going to go for the big thing. I'm going to go for the shark. I'm going to go for all that stuff. And then they lose confidence like immediately.
Yeah.
I mean,
right. Like you said.
Hypocritical. My first fish I caught was like mini hammerhead, Florida.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a sweet fish.
I was like 5 maybe. First time ever fishing in my life. I got a little hammerhead. But then really once I got into it, just you got to start small. You got to rise up.
Yeah, and if you can catch a tiny fish, like then you're like.
Yeah, then you know, okay, I can move up.
Yeah.
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 Also,
Richard Nets blog.
yeah.
Nets
I mean, I'll
blog.
go for big fish too. Like if I'm going out there for a while, I'm going out to a lake. But why? I mean, if you're in a competition, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But you just want to catch small fish. I love it.
Yeah.
There's, like you
Tim
said, there's
said
nothing
pretty
wrong
well.
there's nothing wrong with getting excited about a minnow.
That's right. It's okay to get excited about a minnow.
Fall fish are awesome to catch though.
Yeah. Tim said if you're like for catching the minnows, dog food works good. I've used like cat food too. It works really good.
I also use salmon eggs. Those work incredibly good.
Yeah, I would think they would work good.
I used to go in one of my friends' backyards. They had a stream, big pocket of chubs, and we put salmon eggs, and we catch like 30 in one day.
Nice.
And I'd feed them to my dog. We'd catch them, I'd freeze them, and then I would cook them for my dog. She loved them.
We made trout eggs this year.
Yeah.
The stock trout that had eggs. We took them out, did like caviar. I'm telling you, man, it was awesome.
There you go.
It was so good. Yeah. We were going to smoke them because we kind of like, I was like, oh, that'll make them taste better. And I've done caviar out of salmon and they were okay. Trout, so much better than the salmon.
Yeah.
Delicious. And we spent a lot of money for this free eggs because we bought like the most expensive bread. It was like this brioche, like specialty Italian bread. We got some like goat cheese, like spread for it.
Yeah.
Like fresh greens, like green onion. Trying to think if we used anything else. That might have capers. We had capers. And then the caviar on top. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
It was good.
It was awesome. Yeah.
That sounds awesome. I don't think I've ever tasted the eggs before. But,
yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Like it didn't have a strong flavor. It was more like, I don't know, it almost like for me, like if you're trying to describe the taste of like a mushroom, it's got it doesn't really have a taste. It's got like an earthy, I don't know.
It's the sensation. There's no taste,
right.
But it's all texture.
Like an experience, something like sub taste level. You're just kind of like tasting something. It's more of like, I don't know, just something right to your brain. Doesn't hit your taste buds that you can really describe. But it was good. And like, I guess because it's like salty, it's cheese. And then there's things, and it kind of sounds disgusting, like bursting, but like that, like liquid in there. It was like a cool combo. And man, it was good.
Hey, Boxcar Jerry.
Boxcar Jerry, welcome.
You were my Hunter subscriber.
Nice.
That's
a good one to have. Wild Japan is back.
And Tim, I saw you said salmon eggs. Good idea. Yeah, you can buy like a tin of them, like a can of corn style of them, but they're full of salmon eggs at Walmart for like $3. It's a good deal.
Well, I know Wild Japan just came in, but it's 8:00. Jerry just came in.
Yeah.
I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah, I gotta get to work too. I was at work today, and I gotta go do some homework.
Okay, gotcha, man. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
So, it's great to be on.
Yeah, awesome to have you on. You're welcome anytime. Man. See you.
How long have you been here?
All right, guys. Creekside Angler. Our guest was the True Eco. We fished together a couple of weeks ago and about a month ago. One of the people I just met on the water. Meet some cool people out there, and we stayed in contact. So he's 16, a little bit older than my son, but they kind of hit it off and were able to like hang out and fish a little bit. And cool dude, ended up putting us on some fish. So we've been best friends, not best friends, you know what I mean? Best buds on YouTube ever since. All terrain coffee and camping. Thanks for coming in. We're literally just heading out. I'm ready to end the stream. I got homework to go do with the boys, and we're going to do this again next Tuesday. Friday, we got a new video coming out. I got shorts coming out. Let's see. I got a short coming out tomorrow night, Thursday night. Fridays are going to be a long video. Saturday's going to be a long video. And a bunch of shorts coming out after that. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for all coming in. Love you guys. Peace.